are you getting enough sleep in order to be able to trade proficiently? This is a really interesting topic, actually. I read a book by a chap called Matthew Walker about a year ago, and it's called Why We Sleep. And then I just heard a podcast just this past week, and he was being interviewed on this podcast. It's the How to Wow podcast by Chris Evans, and it reminded me of his book, and it was all talking about the pros of good quality sleep and how we all need a certain amount of sleep a night. And let me just give you some facts here. There is a giant experiment which takes place twice a year with 1.6 billion people. And that is when the clocks go forwards once a year and when the clocks go back once a year. And what we know, fact, is that when the clocks go forwards and we lose an hour of sleep, heart attacks and strokes go up by 24% the following day. Road traffic accidents increase the following day. I can't remember what the actual percentages of that, but I know that it's 24% for stroke and heart attacks. When clocks go back and we gain an hour, heart attacks and strokes reduce by 21%. So there are facts there that take place around when we gain sleep and when we collectively and when we lose sleep. So we know that sleep is really important. We all know it. We know when we're tired we underperform. But to what degree do we underperform? That's an extreme, talking about things like heart attacks and the likes. But even down to road traffic accidents, it's been proven about school children as well that they also get into road traffic accidents because they don't watch what they're doing when they're crossing the road and the likes. And it's been proven that if you send kids to school even 45 minutes later and they get a bit more time in bed, then they don't have as many accidents. I can't remember what the percentage was, but it's a massive drop, something like 70% drop in accidents with children, and their productivity increases and their attention spans increase. And so anyway, sleep and trading. So we know, I highly recommend that book, by the way, or even just watch that podcast, How to Wow, and just what he said, a 2-hour interview with the author. And he's a scientist, a sleep scientist based out of the States. He's English, I think, but he works out of a university over there. And so all of the work that he does is scientifically based. So they do lots of studies and the likes. And so if we know that you are going to be much more productive if you have good quality sleep, then we should be watching what we do as traders, especially day traders. Day traders who have they're making critical decisions throughout the day, made relatively quickly at times as well. So we should be on our game and self-analyzing whether we are tired or not, and certainly being aware of that. So if we can increase our quality of sleep, then we should do, because ultimately our decision making can come back to whether actually internally we're tired or not and we're not sleeping well. So, and I'm sure a lot of you can reflect on that when some days you think, why did I do that? Why did I take those trades? It might well come back to the fact that you've not been getting quality sleep, which means it's impairing your decision making. So have a little bit of think about that, about how your quality of sleep can affect your trading, and do go out and check out that book. It's a great book. If you don't want to read the book, have a quick listen to the podcast. That's my little tip for this week. Take care for now. I'll see you on Friday for live trading.